Guys, this is the intro to the intro because we stumbled upon something pretty incredible. Look at this. If you want to see what this is and learn more about it, make sure you watch the entire video. Today I'm back with a brand new rail adventure. We're continuing our journey along the former Erie Railroad. In this video, we're picking up where part 2 left off and heading north into new territory. Curious what we're going to find? There's only one way to find out. And all you got to do is come along with me. So for this section, the rails are still in place. Pretty heavily overgrown, but they are still here. These ones were not ripped up, but these are heading north. And it's going to be kind of bordering Interstate 81 off to our left. Also joining me today is none other than RJ78 Productions and Alan, Revenge of the Apocalypse. Now RJ is more familiar with abandoned rail lines than Alan, but together I want to bring them on this part 3 journey so they can experience what I love to film for you guys, and that is ruins, remnants, and history of railroading. So I do know it continues for a little ways. It doesn't go terribly too long. It does cross over at least one bridge, possibly two, I think a girder bridge. And we may come across some signs of some homeless camps I remember seeing last year when I was scouting this out. There is numerous trash dumps here, and we're on pretty much like an ATV trail now. But along the way, if there's anything photo worthy, I will snap some shots for you. And if you guys, more importantly, want to get the history on the Erie Railroad, down below in the description and up here in the corner, I will link my video, part 1, where I started this whole journey last year of the Erie line. In that video, I did do a lot of the back history and shared it throughout the video. So if you guys want to have a better understanding as to what this line was for and the dates related to it, you definitely want to check out that video. Looks like we've come to what I believe is the first of 2 girder bridges. It looks like it's wide enough to have had maybe a double line or a siding. You can actually see the inner rails are here. People often ask, what are they for? That is a form of protection from a derail, so that when the train's going across, if it was to derail on the bridge, these inner tracks would catch the wheel trucks and prevent it from going all the way over the bridge. So it's kind of like a preventative measure if it was ever to derail, not to be catastrophic. Give you a side view from the roadway here, looking at the bridge. So they now use this bridge as an advertisement. This is for tall trees, which is a housing area. But this is an Erie Railroad Bridge. Other sections of it, we may see the actual Erie name on it, but for as long as I can remember, this advertisement's been here. But on part 4, which we're going to do next, that bridge I'm going to show in part 4 does have the Erie name on it. Can't slide. Darn it. Looking back, we just passed the girder bridge there, and the line does have a little bit of elevation here where the ground we're walking on drops off. You can see a little bit of erosion here next to the ties, but they are still very much in place. Oh, I just spotted something. I do believe we found ourselves a nice patch of nature's carpet. Looks nice actually with the glistening of the sun and the snow. Had to share that. Now, one thing I had come to realize is that depending on what section of the Erie line you follow, whether it's under the 380 bridges near the abandoned trestle, or if it's south by Rocky Glen, there's patches where you'll find fully intact rails, sections where you will find just rail ties, and sections where you find nothing at all. So it is hit and miss. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason as to why they would have ripped up the rails in certain areas more than others. But I appreciate the fact that they're still here. So we at least have something visually to imagine, you know, and walking where I'm walking, having a train coming by, whether it be a steam locomotive or Conrail, you know, would be a sight to see. If only we could go back in time, even just for one day. But we're continuing on. We're going to go as far as the tracks and the trail will allow us. I do know eventually it leads to a neighborhood, but before we come to that, we got some ground to cover. So I'm not going to make this too long of a video. Don't want to bore you guys, but at the same time, I do want to document it thoroughly. So I guess I'll keep you updated as we go and see what we come across here. It's unfortunate. There's a garbage dump. Somebody's been up on top of there. There's paint cans, tires, even a Christmas tree. This would be much more difficult in the summer, I can tell you that, because all this stuff right now is dead, but in full bloom it'd be really thick and hard to navigate or to see a lot of things. So one thing I was right on is that we did come across signs of a homeless camp, or at least one individual. Being this is a pretty untouched area, it's only frequented by ATVers. Down off the embankment here, there is a setup of sorts. I know it's hard to see, but once we get closer, we're not going to disturb them. You know, we will keep our space, but give you a view. I don't know if anyone's there actively because it is actually really cold right now. It's, you know, heart of the winter. Today it's around 20 degrees out. I know summertime there was several individuals living down there. And the tracks pick back up here. I know it's hard to see, but they have a setup down with tarps and rope and stuff like that. So we did confirm someone is down there. RJ spotted them. They kind of pulled the tarp to look to see. Probably heard our voices. But we're gonna let them be, you know, it is their home. But down in the woods, there's signs of more evidence of camps or shelters or something. These ones I don't think are as active now because it is minimal. They do have some towels strung up, some chairs. There's a blue tarp in the distance there. But summertime, you know, you do come across that. But we are coming up now very shortly on our second bridge. One way to tell is by looking at the rails. We got those inner guide rails again for derailment. And another small girder bridge. Looking at it here, you could definitely tell there was two rails. Those ones there, and this one here. Again, whether it was a double main line or just a siding for passing, that part I don't know, but you can see there's actually three partitions here for the bridge. And along the side of it, after RJ's done, I'll give you some views. There's a stone wall, and I'll give you just the exterior view. You know, maybe we could come to the other side. Let's see what we could do here. I'll keep you guys rolling, and you could help me find a good vantage point. Just watch your step. Oh boy, this is pretty high right here. Yeah, I think we could probably go down there. You want to do that? Yeah, I think that'll work. And we'll be able to get a view of the underneath portion. This bridge is solid up on top though. There's no cracks. You know, you can't see through, can't fall through, which is good. Just watch your eyes. It's like someone's been down here before, or maybe an animal. There's a small little trail. But I'm going to keep you rolling the whole time here. I don't want to slip and fall, but I'm trying to see the best path down here. Okay. Oh yeah, we could actually walk underneath, I think. Let me get down a little lower and I will turn you guys around to see what I'm seeing here. It is icy though and slippery. I don't want to inadvertently fall and hurt something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually a nice little revealing shot for you guys. I have a tree right here that's kind of defying gravity. It's kind of hovering here. I'm going to start there, show you that, and kind of reveal the bridge. So here's the tree. It's got a little bit of carpet on it. And you can see it's just coming out of the embankment here. Underneath it, completely empty and hollow. But as we rise up and move over, there's the bridge. It's actually a pretty decent shot right there. It is one solid metal structure, that bridge. And it's got the stone abutments here, which are gargantuan. I mean, putting my hand on it here doesn't really do it justice, but these are probably 20 inches tall by, geez, I'd say 4 feet. So that gives you a good size of how big they are. But we're gonna walk through, if we could, and give you a more up close and personal look at it. This little stream is partially frozen. The water is flowing underneath it, but makes for some nice photos. Speaking of which, make sure you stick around to the end for a photo montage. Oh, we got remnants of a shopping cart. Of all places. Watch yourself here. Oh yeah, there's a collapse here. That's not good. So here is a buried shopping cart. This is the back end of it here. It was pretty cool if you guys could, oh, here's actually the front wheels of it. Front wheels sticking out, but if you look through the ice, you can actually see the water flowing underneath it there. Okay, so I'm going to show you next. I'm going to give you fair warning. If you don't like to see carcasses or dead animals, turn away now, or, just, don't look. But I'll let you know when it's safe to look again, but there is something here I do want to show you. So I'm going to count down to 3 and show you what's here. 3, 2, 1. RJ spotted on the top of the bridge that there is a carcass of a deer. You can see all the fur, the rib cage here. Looks like it's been picked clean by other animals. So I don't know if it maybe fell off the bridge or something, you know, killed it, or if it was shot during hunting season. That I don't know. But I just wanted to share that with you because it is some of the things we do come across on our explorations. But now, those of you who did turn away, it is safe to watch again. And right behind Alan is a pretty sketchy area of a collapsed wall, which means there's not a whole lot of support under that particular section. And standing next to Alan too is those boulders. You can see just how massive they are. Surprised there's no one living under here. This is a pretty neat area. It looks really awesome though, with the frozen ice right now, the frozen water. And the boulders are just kind of dislodged. But I'm going to snap a couple photos of that, but that is not a good situation. It's only going to get worse. Well, it looks like someone maybe constructed a little type of fire pit here or something. Almost like a jet chimney. I'll have to show you that when I come back over. But I'm going to get some snapshots and show you this collapse here. It's pretty bad. Ooh, almost. Here's what I wanted to show you. There's somebody stacked these bricks here, which I thought was maybe for like a little, you know, cooking element. You know, to maybe put your pot on top. I have seen that before. It's either that or someone just curing their boredom. All right, you guys stay there. I don't want you to get hurt. I'm gonna kind of climb up in here and just show you the size of it, perspective-wise, scale-wise, because it's kind of, you know, not something you see every day. So just wait there and enjoy the views. And I typically wouldn't advise this. This is dangerous, but I am willing to take the risk based on what I'm seeing here. If it's a warm summer day or springtime, there's a good potential this will fall from thaw and moisture, but it is pretty cold and frozen today. But you can see how big this is compared to me. Okay, so I'm not gonna linger here any longer, but I just wanted to show you how massive it is. What you're looking at here is an area where the ice has a hole in it and the water is kind of bubbling up, almost like a underground spring, even though it's not. It's just the force is pushing it upwards. But, you know, it's just kind of nice to look at something what nature provides. You know, it's a cold winter day. We got ice, we got water, we got train bridges. All you gotta do is just stop to enjoy it. And on a quick side note, in case you are curious about this hat, this is available on my merchandise shop, as well as numerous other items, t-shirts, hoodies, travel mugs, stuff like that, which will be linked down below in the description. More importantly, if you're enjoying this abandoned rail adventure, simply give one of these. Lets me know that you like these videos. Okay, so we're back up on top of the bridge now. We got done exploring underneath of it, showing you the collapse, the ice, the carcass. But we have more rails to follow, so come on, let's keep moving. Aside from the noisy traffic, it's actually a nice area back here. Especially on a cold day like this, there's no one really back here at all except for us and the homeless people. But as I look over here, I'm noticing something kind of unique. There is a raise in elevation right there. You can see it. Looks like maybe some big blocks, or it could be natural stone. And in the distance, there's more elevations and some pretty big ice fall or ice formations. So Possibly we'll show some of that on the way back. But I do want to continue and not get too distracted. But there is definitely more to see. Just gotta keep our eyes peeled. And make sure that if you see anything that I'm missing, shout, "Jay, stop! Look over there!" If only it worked that way. Yeah, I think we may have to take a poke up there on our way back. We're gonna finish this out as far as it goes, and you will see that. So if you do want to see the ice formations and what could possibly be up there, you don't want to end the video too soon. Make sure you stick around to the end. Oh yeah, this is actually a rock cut and there's drill markings here. I think it's coming through on camera pretty good. You see all those vertical lines? Those are from drill bits. They would have drilled down from the top and inserted dynamite and blew apart the rock to make this little, open area here for the rail lines. So obviously it's very difficult for trains to go uphill, especially a steep incline. So when they have areas like this that are blocking their path, they have to basically blow it to pieces and continue straight on. So those of you who have been following along for my abandoned rail adventures, specifically the Erie line, as you know, right now you're watching part 3. There still are 2 more parts for me to film, at least. Part 4 is going to be continuing from part 1, heading south past Rocky Glen. Now it doesn't go too much farther from where part 1 left off because it does pick up with an active section of rail. I can at least show it to you. Part 5 is going to take us kind of near the abandoned train trestle, which is known as the JPViaduct of the Wyoming division of the Erie line. It does follow along 435, and although there's no tracks there, we can at least follow the path of it. So in the coming months, we're going to be filming part 4 within a week or 2, but obviously it's going to be delayed when it comes out. And then part 5 will be probably springtime, early summer. But I do have other abandoned rail line adventures to film. Down in Luzerne County, there's a short line railroad I'm going to film. It is completely abandoned, hasn't been used for a long, long time. I do know there's some sections of track of it. It'll probably just be a 1 video documentation of it. And aside from that, I'm always learning and researching for other areas too. So, I know, it's nothing super, super exciting, but to me, I just love learning about the history here in Pennsylvania, the rail lines. Being a rail fan myself, I can appreciate, the effort that they went through to construct these lines and to research why they went out of business, stuff like that. So hopefully you enjoyed them just as much as me, because I said more of them are going to be coming out. I do have an icy pass to cross over, so I'm going to keep you guys rolling in case I go down. But hopefully it doesn't happen. I didn't bring my ice skates. Ooh! No, there's too many Krispy Kremes. I probably should be walking on the side, but hey, gotta live on the edge a little bit, or on the ice. Thankfully I'm wearing boots and not sneakers or tennis shoes. You mean this angle? This ice, for the most part, is pretty thick. Okay, so random discovery. Who spotted it? Alan? RJ. We saw dots of red, which I thought was paint, and it's still wet, and we believe it's blood because there's a trail continuing the path we're going. So we may be following something that's injured. There's actually quite a bit of it here. I can show you. Yep, that's wet and fresh.
Nope, it's not buried. That is blood.
Where does it go to though? It looks like it stops here. There's some more here. Okay, so the blood trail just kind of disappeared. We were thinking maybe it was berries, but we tried to recreate it and it didn't work. That was a little strange. It was definitely a path of blood. This ice is like really thick. You can almost see right through. It's pretty clear. Okay, we are safely past it. And yes, I could have walked on the sides, but I want to make it a little bit more fun and exciting for you guys. Hopefully he didn't fall. Look at RJ. He thinks he's in the Winter Olympics. You know what this would be good for? Like the Winter Olympics for curling. So here it widens out quite a bit. Could fit, you know, some large vehicles back here actually. But straight ahead up on the right and on the left is going to be a pretty large rock cut. Much bigger than what we've seen already. Because as you can see, this ridge line here just continues to rise in elevation. That's a pretty nice view right there. Blue sunny skies and stratus clouds, and we're right in the middle of a rock cut. I'm gonna see if I can get somewhat close and give you a view of it, because it's always cool to check out the ice formations. They're like snowflakes. Each one is different. Oh, we got a nice clear stretch of track too. So yeah, this is a nice photo opportunity. Yeah, surprisingly no trees here. It's wide open. Got some cattails here and an abundance of ice. This is going to be a photo worthy opportunity, so I'm going to place you guys down. I'm going to do my photo magic, and you'll be able to see the photos at the end of the video. I get a bunch of different shots for you guys, so they'll pay off in the end. Don't worry, you want to check them out. This is why it pays off to film with your friends, because in their videos, you get to see something different than what I'm showing in this video. The reason I say that is because these two billy goats are going to walk the top of that ridge line there, and you'll be able to see what's up there. And if you want to see me from up above, make sure to check out their videos. I'm going to stay down here and we'll document the bottom portion. But so far it's turned out to be pretty cool. You can tell which of those two are the more experienced at climbing and navigating. But it's got to learn somehow, right? Success! I'm just kind of blown away by the amount of ice here. I think we picked a perfect day to come. It's amazing how the water can work its way through the rocks. Because as you can tell, it's not spilling over from the top. It's through the rocks. So water will always find a way. I'm just also really surprised that these rails here are as exposed as they are, because nearly the entire way they were really overgrown with trees, bushes, brush, weeds, you know, everything under the sun. And aside from a little bit of stuff here and there, it is relatively open, because here's another clear patch. And this is probably the only acceptable time to stand in the middle of a gauge. You never want to stand where I'm standing on an active line. But I'm actually going to set you guys down just for a moment. I'm going to walk up towards that ice just to give you a good visual, because it's pretty enormous. Just wait there. I don't want you getting hurt. I gotta be careful myself because this is super slick. I wanted to stand up here, but I can't. It's solid ice, but hopefully from here, this is a pretty good visual. And once we get a spring thaw or a warm up for the week, this is all gonna break off and come down hard and heavy. But I'm gonna snap a photo while I'm here. I can't help myself. That's a pretty cool photo. Again, not to be repetitive, but just in case you want to see these photos, to remind you, once we get to the end of the video, you will see the photo montage. Typically when I do these abandoned rail adventures, I don't like to include music. People do like to hear and see these locations in its natural element, so to speak. So the only time I'm going to include music is for the photos. Other than that, I'm keeping it pretty raw and real. So the end will be a highlight with all these gorgeous photos. Okay, we're going to cover some ground here, and then I'm going to pick back up with you once we do come upon something rather exciting and unique, because this actually goes for quite a ways, this rock cut. So I'm going to keep moving, and you guys will see me in just a moment or two. Is that Bigfoot? Lumberjack RJ. That's my luck. It's stuck against a tree. Timber! Guess he ate his Wheaties this morning. That was a workout. I win. Thought that was Bigfoot for a second. Do it! Do it now! You won't take me alive! Yeah, it's life flight for Geisinger. No Arnie in that chopper. So what I was explaining to the guys is where we're heading, I do know is going to bring us to the area of a former amusement park that's been gone a long, long time. I mentioned it in my first video 2021 at NAOG. It's called Luna Park. It only operated for a short time frame, and I do know that Interstate 81 covers over most of the area. There are some small remnants and fragments of it on the NAOG side. A little bit more on this side, which I do believe is a foundation or two of a ride or building and a bridge for the Laurel Line trolley. So we may come across that further up. I don't know if we're gonna be in the right area or not. It may be part of this video. If it's a lot of stuff, may be a second video, but nonetheless, we'll keep our eyes peeled and see what we possibly find. So Alan's coming back down. He's gonna join up with me on the flat level ground, and RJ is going to continue up on top of there. So again, different videos give you different views and perspectives. Quick update, that's where we just came from, that direction, and I thought for a second we did lose the tracks. A lot of thick bamboo here, but as I got closer, the tracks are still there. That's why I mentioned coming the right time of year does help. But behind me, as I spin around, is Interstate 81. We are kind of up and above it. Directly across is Naog Park over there. So that's a good reference point. And as we continue, we still have a straight path. And we have a bit more to go. I don't think it's terribly further as to when the termination of these tracks is, because I do know there is a residential neighborhood not too far up ahead. But between here and there, I don't really know how far it is. It could be 5 minutes, it could be another half an hour, but I'm just gonna keep moving and keep sharing. And don't forget too, we have to backtrack our steps. So we're gonna get back to that one area where we did see some icy, build up, and what looked like to be a kind of a neat area where the landscape was building up. So we are gonna definitely check that on the way back. So there will be more to see even once we do come to the end of this. So I won't be doing an outro until we complete all that. So this has turned out to be a longer video than anticipated. I do say that quite often, but you never know what you're going to expect to see or show or find when you're doing these videos. Oh, I just found something train related here. Just speak of the devil, just found something that I didn't know was back here, and now it's going to force me to show you guys and to prolong the video even more. All right, check that out. That, I believe, is for some type of signal. It's a foundation of it, it's concrete, it's kind of like pyramid shaped. I do believe it would have had some type of metal, signal marker up on top of it. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, feel free to correct me. Yeah, there's actually another one over here too. So pretty certain that's what it is. There's another one right there. So I don't know, maybe I'm gonna have to retract my statement, because ideally you'd see one of these on both sides for almost like I'll insert a picture and show you. It'd be like an overhead signal marker, but that they're both on this side, I'm not entirely certain. But again, those of you watching who are more knowledgeable, feel free to share. I'm wondering if I thought this was maybe for a signal crossing, like a signal marker, but there would have been one on each side. Oh, they're back there? Yeah, they're short ones and there's anchor bolts on them. Okay, so it is not for a signal. RJ just said that up behind here, there's two more that line up with these. Might have been a radio tower or something. So maybe it's been a tower or something, but there's definitely supports. Is there 4 total? Okay, so, oh, look at this icy buildup here. I'm going to try to get over there a little bit and show you. I'm not in the best location. That's a pipe, isn't it?
So what's weird is I was going to show you, because I walked up just a little bit further. Roughly in the same area, on the other side you'll see where it's like dipped down a little bit. And there's this same size pipe actually coming out of the ground over there. So I wonder if this is supposed to get connected to it or something, and something happened.
So just to show you what RJ mentioned, there is other supports up here. Yeah, right in front where Alan is, there's a smaller one. So there's anchor bolts on top. Something was mounted. We're thinking maybe a radio tower or something, but it's definitely not a train signal as far as I could understand, because again, the other supports would be on the other side for an overhead, you know, signal crossing, or lack of a better word. But just more random things, you know, we don't know what it is. We can only kind of throw together our ideas and try to put the pieces of the puzzle in the right place. So it just goes to show, you never know what you're going to find. Keep your eyes open when you're walking. We did come primarily just to show you the rails, but we're already finding more and more stuff, which ends up making for a longer video. Oh, okay. So that pipe that we saw, here's the other end of it here, but it's broken off. This is intact. Water, I believe, still comes out of here, but it's laying over there and kind of just placed there. So it would have been to divert water under the rail line, and it's still working for the most part, but it is definitely broken apart. Okay, gotta keep trudging ahead. Let's keep moving. The landscape is changing. No more rock cut. No more really wide path. It's kind of like how we first started today's video with how the location looks. Really overgrown again. And some snow cover. Thankfully, despite how cold it is, there's little to no wind. I think it's a sustained winds of 2 to 4 miles per hour with a gust of 8, which for this time of year is practically nothing. As long as we're moving, it's actually quite comfortable. Oh, the rail's cut here. You guys could see the rail is no longer intact. It looks like they did something to remove it. It just kind of dislodged. So wonder what we're going to find up ahead. I do know, like I said, the rails, whether they're buried or have been removed, don't continue forever, because this does eventually lead into a neighborhood. Oh, there's more concrete supports, just like we saw for maybe another tower. I'm not going to bother showing you those ones. They are identical to the other ones, but again, we're just finding so many little random things here. So my understanding of the rail line may be a little bit off, because right down there is 81, and down to the right is where it becomes a residential area. I thought, looking on maps, that the rail line was down there and terminated right before the homes, but as I spin around, the rail line is still here and it's still continuing on up above the homes. So I don't actually know how far this goes. I didn't think it was up this high or continue this far, because in Google Maps it's overgrown. It's hard to see. So this is turning out to be unexpected as to the route and length of this section of tracks. So the only thing we could do is just keep following it, and eventually it's going to come to something, whether it's a residential area or perhaps the junkyard. But that's also going to maybe have me be off a bit for the Luna Park area, which I think may be down closer to 81, not up this high. So if that is the case, that Luna Park is down there near 81, we're probably not going to see any remnants of it up here. But if there is enough interest in the viewers who'd like me to try to do a video showing that in the future, I could possibly see what I could do. I do know of a few people that are fairly knowledgeable, not only of the history of the park, but do know some more precise locations. As I spin you around, the rails are still here. There's more supports here. So it makes you wonder, You know, if these supports we're finding every so often, they held up something. I just don't know what. Whether it's rail related or something else. All we could do is speculate and guess and maybe get some more answers later on. Yeah, see down there is the homes. So I know nothing's down there. If anything, it would be back that direction. But I am kind of perplexed now as to how far this truly goes. Ultimately, you know, back when it was in service, they would have continued through where J. Nichols Junkyard is, came around the bend to Rock Junction there, and over to the Wyoming branch near the Jessup Viaduct. If it went off that way or went straight across the abandoned bridge that has a new life underneath the 380 bridges. So it could have went different routes. There was a little train yard back there for the town of Greenville. So, I mean, this is the same line. But when I went searching for the abandoned rail car the first time, we did walk towards the junkyard from the abandoned trestle, and the line did terminate in the junkyard. There's a path here. Now the rails are still here. I guess we could just keep going. I think what I'm going to do, instead of drawing this out any longer than necessary, we're going to walk it to the end. And when we do reach the end point, I will update you and show you what it looks like where it's at. Because I truly don't know at this point how much farther it goes. I was misinformed by my own research as to the path of this line and the length. So you learn, you know, from your own mistakes. You know, that's all part about getting out and exploring. Sometimes you are correct, sometimes you're not. But it's actually a good mistake because there's actually more to see, more to follow than I imagined. All right, quick update. We just came from the opening there by all the rocks. The tracks ended, and we thought, okay, that's the end of the line. There's a lot of stone there. Someone purposely leveled that out. But RJ noticed that it looks like it would have curved across the road and continued, and sure enough, the rails are here. So we were able to follow the path. You can see a clear rail line here. So we're going to try to walk this a little bit. I don't know if it's private property or not. It's not posted. There are homes over there, but we're going to stay really close to the edge here and just go a little bit further and see what it looks like. And then, like I said, once we get back, I'll show you what it looks like over there, because there's a gap here. I do believe they paved over the tracks, because the tracks go right under the road, underneath all that stone. So let's continue and see what else we find here. There's a post there with some cable. There's a little path here. Let's check this out and see. Yep, here's the rails. They're partially covered up. This is the roadbed next to the rails. Still see a tiny bit of them right there. I do have a general idea the direction this goes to, where it's headed. I don't know if it's going to reach the entire way. Yep, they're still here. We're still following them. Some trash and stuff dumped here. But we are kind of on a rail line now in the middle of a neighborhood. Homes down there. Down there is those bridges where me and RJ actually went underneath, and we went through that. I went kind of chest high of water, stone culvert. That's the area we were in. This is kind of unique though that this is still continuing. I didn't realize this. So I do apologize in advance if you're not into long videos. This is turning out to be really long, but this is unexpected. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to lead us right to the junkyard. And obviously from there, we're not going to go into the junkyard. That is private property, but if I could get confirmation that it's headed there, that'll be good enough. So looking back at the direction we just came from, still following the tracks, and came upon something pretty interesting. Looks like a portal or something. It's gated. Wow. Now this I could show you because we can't get into it. This is just blooming here right next to the rail line. You know what it looks like? This is something for mine production. I have to get confirmation, but it could have been a haulage tunnel. You know, I could have loaded coal cars right here. The rail line's right there. Wow. It is kind of blocked up with the rebar there. I'm going to pull out my flashlight and we'll check it out for ourselves. All right, guys, I'm going to take a peek first and then bring you up here. Oh, man. There's stuff back there, too.
I know.
This is not, I don't know if this is for mines. This is like underground tunnel. Holy crap. Yeah, guys, I don't know what to think of this, what to make of it. This is not a traditional portal or tunnel. This is, it looks like something for transportation or something. I mean, it doesn't go down. This is like a junction here, goes left and right. And there's like a car seat in there. There's bottles. I mean, people have been back there. I don't know how they got in.
Maybe it's been before the bars.
Yeah, I mean, the bars could have been added in recent years, but...
Wow, right here probably. Looks like these were
added.
in, so
Oh,
somebody cut here.
these two. Okay, that makes sense.
And this one.
Yeah, so we just confirmed that these two look like they're added on. So someone was able to kind of get in there this way. I had no idea what this is. If you guys have any information at all, feel free to share. This is pretty awesome. I'm gonna go up above and behind it, see what it looks like, but there's definitely, you can see it's curved there in the background, just like it is here in the front. It's all poured concrete. I don't feel any breeze. I don't have that, I don't even smell that typical mine smell, like, you know, the musty, sulfury odor. This is something else. Holy crap. I hope you guys could educate me as to what this is or what it was used for. So I am now up behind it. It is just over there. And right here, there's signs of more stuff. You guys can see that. That is a hole in the ground, which is opened up. It's a concrete opening. And I don't know where that goes. Like, it's not big enough for me to fit in. But I may be able to stick you guys down with the flashlight. All right, I'm gonna stick you down there and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so I can't see, you guys could see. So I don't know what we're looking at here. I don't know. I can't wait to see this footage. It's spinning around towards me. Looking backwards. I don't know if you guys could tell me what you're seeing down there, because there's a couple of these holes. They might be interconnected. Alan's checking the same place I was checking, but over here, I believe this is access. Yeah, that goes down there too. This is really weird. It's all concrete ceiling on top. Oh, we're not even on top of the thing yet. So it is over here. This area is pretty bizarre. We're at the bottom of a big mountain here. So right where I'm standing here, when we were looking through there, the tunnel went both directions. There's actually an opening right there looking into it. So this is either a dead end right here, or it continues. What do you guys think? I think, from what I've seen, it looks like it may go off in one of these directions. That is really random and bizarre. Really incredible find. So right down there is that portal, and we can't figure out if it does continue or not. There's a chance it could just terminate just out of our view. Also a possibility it could continue underneath all this material. But I am perplexed. Usually I could have a good sense of figuring out if something is coal mine related. This one doesn't have any clear evidence. Inside that tunnel, there's no smell of like a mine, and it looks relatively, built for non-mine related workings. It was almost like for, pedestrians or interconnecting to a building or something like that. But we're gonna just poke a little further up here, see if there is anything, and just to make sure we don't miss anything. I don't know. Here's a piece of concrete here, just sticking out. There's like a wall. There's some scrap metal over here. We are just on the outskirts of the junkyard, so I'm not going to go too much further, just a little further ahead. Yeah, there's concrete everywhere. So even if it wasn't a mine, it could have been some type of industry or business or factory of sorts. That tunnel could have had something to do with it. Yeah, it looks to be a hunting blind or a makeshift tent or something, but yeah, we're not gonna go any further. That is the junkyard there. But there is just random pieces of concrete laying around. So I'm thinking that that tunnel has something to do with the basement inner workings of some type of building. I don't personally think it's mine related, but unless you guys know otherwise or could confirm what you saw, definitely let us know. Okay, quick update. We found a sled. Unfortunately, it's frozen to the ground. Otherwise, I was going to take a spin on it. We did find some more concrete, and I spotted this. RJ checked it out. It's some type of cover to something. maybe for a part of a motor, but it's tucked underneath that concrete. And what I've come to realize is that, and I could be wrong, this is just me, again, piecing things together. We came across these numerous holes in the ground, those cutout squares where I stuck you guys down inside. I think, and again, this is just what I'm piecing together, what I see here. I think at some point, a long time ago, there would have been a building or something right where we are. And those openings in the ground may have been like a port to dump something, pour something, channel something down into an underground chamber or trough. I don't know obviously what it would have been for, but I do think there was a building here at one point. We're seeing lots of concrete. There's concrete all over there, concrete pile up over there. And I think possibly there was some type of structure here a long time ago, and those openings were basically inside the building going down into something. If you guys, like I said, have any other knowledge or could clue me in on what it actually is or was, by all means, share your information with us. But if not, that's what we come to our conclusion, that there was some type of structure here, a building, and those, I don't know where they're at specifically. There's some back there, but you know, those square openings, they're in line and they go into some type of little opening chamber. So whatever it was, it's pretty amazing to find that there's still remnants of it. But we are going to get back down towards the rail line and go back, because going forth, we're only a few hundred yards away from the cemetery. I'm sorry, the not cemetery, junkyard. And we don't want to go onto their property. There's an ATV. So the rail lines do continue through the junkyard, and if we were to follow them continuously, they do dissipate in the junkyard, but then pick back up on the other side, which that video I will link down below in the description. You'll see us coming from the other direction. But now we're going to backtrack and show you all the things that we talked about on our way here. So once we arrive at those locations, we'll pick back up with the video. Okay, so now to bring you backwards as to kind of where we came from. We're looking straight across. That's where we just came from, through the woods there, next to that lawn. And we crossed over the road, over these big stones and rocks, and there is a gate. If RJ would move to his left or right, there we go. There's a gate there, which permits any vehicles going across. Obviously, ATVs made their own path, but the tracks do pick up over here, and that's the direction we came from. So we're not going to show you our entire return path. We're going to get back to that one area where I said there was like an upper area with some icicles and stuff like that, and we'll show you what that looks like. But we did see some other stuff off camera, which may be in a second video. So you might see part of this area in the future again for more of a wet or dark adventure that may or may not involve some culverts. So be on the lookout for that. And if you are new to the channel and want to see when that comes out, make sure you're subscribed and to ring the notification bell and select all. That way, whenever I go live or put up a new upload, you'll be the first to know. Alrighty, welcome back. I know it's only been a few seconds for you, but it's been about 30 minutes for us. Just walked back a good section of the rail line here and came back to an area that I promised I was going to show you guys. Just for reference, this is the rock wall with all the drill marks. I did show that earlier. But up here, we're going to do a little poking around and see what it looks like. So just watch your eyes as we cross over. A lot of branches and pointy stuff. It's like a huge, huge rock right here. I wonder if this was cut out up here. Oh, it almost looks like a rusty jack-o'-lantern. See, look at this stone here. If you guys could see it, it almost looks like maybe some drill marks. I don't know for certain. It does definitely resemble that. But this is a big, flattened out, level area. There's a fire ring right there. So this was cleared out, and it's right next to the rail line. So there could have been anything here, really. Unfortunately, there's a lot of trash. Looks like this is maybe a target shooting area.
Yeah, that's just way weird. That was
Yeah, this is like a target shooting area. It's all beer cans with holes in them. Not very smart to shoot at rocks though. But something kind of funny though. One of a kind. QT radio. We don't really mention him too much anymore. It kind of got old, but that is one of the more clever ones. And I do not know who he is, but I kept my word. I will not share it publicly, but I have been in correspondence with him, and he did confirm he is the individual responsible for these, but he does get around, and that's pretty clever.
Definitely consider him a friend now.
Yeah, he's a friend too. He's actually helpful with a lot of locations. Oh, another radio. GE. Remember back in the days? Got the big boom box. Some really amazing ice fall here. I'm gonna walk over and give you a closer look at it. Watch your head. Oh, got snagged. All right, guys, I'm gonna ask for your help here. I've come up with a couple clever names on my channel. I come up with Nature's Carpet, came up with Miner's Carpet. We need a name for the ice. With the natural ice formations, comment down below, give me a clever name, what we could call this in future videos. And the most appealing, intriguing one, we'll go with that, and I'll give you a special shout out in a future video. But name these ice formations Nature's something, or come up with something clever. I want to see what you guys think. You can see here the ice is just kind of crystallized over the stone, the rock. It's like a piece of art. But it seems to be a pretty popular area.
Oh, it's salty. Just put it up.
Another boomy box. Oh, this one has no speakers.
Part of it's right there.
But it's got the EQ. You know that's top of the line. Oldies 92.1. That's still a active radio station.
Yeah, down my way is Oldies 98. Now they're playing 80s music on it. Like, damn it, I'm old.
Got a piece of PVC pipe there. Oh yeah? Potato cannon. But let's do something that I like to do from time to time. We got some carpet here. We're gonna bring it to life. There, and it's all its glory. Nice, bright, vibrant Nature's Carpet. Keep you guys like that for a moment here. I'll show you the rest of the landscape. There's the yet to be named ice. Oh, look at this. This may be from water or a drill mark. What do you guys think? That's kind of interesting. But let's bring it back to reality. All right, we're going to continue on back down the rail line and see if we have anything else to share with you guys. All right, guys, thanks for joining me on part 3 of this abandoned rail adventure of the Erie Railroad, later known as the Erie Lackawanna. Going north into new territory was probably one of the best locations yet. Not only was I wrong, but I was actually wrong in a good way. The rail line did continue much further than I realized, and following it across the roadway along the residential area brought us to that incredible portal, shaft, whatever you want to call that. As of right now, I don't know what that was for. I didn't have any obvious signs of any mining activity, but not to say that's not related to that. It is fully gated up, barred up, you can't get inside. That's why I was able to share it if it is in case related to that. But I definitely want to hear your feedback for not only that, or anything else that you see in this video that maybe I was either incorrect on or didn't have the knowledge to share it with you. You guys do help me out more than you realize to help educate me on things I see on my adventures. So I just want to thank you in advance for any information you have shared or do continue to share in the future. Lastly, I just want to say that if you want to see more rail adventures, I will put a playlist down below in the description. As I mentioned earlier, I do have more things planned for part 5 of the Erie line, and also some other short line railroads. But I'm going to be getting those done sooner than later, so you won't have to wait too long to watch those. Lastly, if you did enjoy any part of this video, please share your support by giving a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Check out my playlist, and definitely stop by my merchandise store to pick up a JPVideos hat or hoodie. It all helps support and fund future adventures. So, hope you guys had a great time. I definitely did, and I can't wait to do this again for you. So, thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'll see each and every one of you in the next video. What are you doing?
It's so smooth. Oh, it's not a leg lamp? Oh.
Oh wait, I wonder, is this velvet? All right, guys, that was part 3 of our abandoned rail adventure. Thanks for joining me on this. I forgot what I was going to say.